Touchdown, Omar Cooper.
IU football. Indiana's magical season will end on the national stage in Miami with a shot at becoming college football champions. How the Hoosiers' success on the gridiron is impacting the state's economy, Indiana University's image, NIL money, and more. Plus,
a pediatrician mom who turned entrepreneur and created these stainless steel dishes is shipping more product than ever from this warehouse. We'll tell you about her big business deal coming up in the Business of Health.
And Governor Braun's State of the State address, breaking down some of the key issues state lawmakers are debating at the Indiana General Assembly. What it could mean for you and your bank account. Inside Indiana Business is next.
From Indiana's business news leader, this is IBJ Media's Inside Indiana Business with Gerry Dick, presented by Elevate Ventures, Indiana University, and the Indiana Association of Realtors.
Hello and welcome to Inside Indiana Business. I'm Gerry Dick. We are focusing this week on the economic impact, and it is big, of IU football, not only on Bloomington, but businesses across the entire state. Of course, the #1 ranked Hoosiers are playing for a national championship Monday night against the University of Miami in Miami. Coach Curt Cignetti's Hoosiers have really had a season for the ages. 16-0, which has brought national visibility to IU, which most schools really only dream of. Success on the field is also translated into eye-popping numbers in ticket sales, big an uptick in admission applications, money flowing into the schools, NIL coffers, and much more.
To see our season ticket sales up 50% this year, which was, again, just massive for us, as we've always tried to really get that base to grow. Our concessions sales are doubled from where they are 2 years ago. You know, overall income just around football is more than doubled. And just looking at that, and then you look at the impact just around the campus. You look at admissions applications, and you look at the community as I see local restaurants and businesses around the community. I know they're feeling, you know, sometimes I'll see someone and they'll say, hey, thanks for getting football going, because it really does bleed around the whole community. And so it's super exciting, and it's what we'd always hope for. We know that we just have to keep working hard and keep this thing going.
That was IU Athletics Director Scott Dolson when we caught up with him back in late October when the IU juggernaut was rolling along at 7-0. For more perspective now and some new numbers on the economic impact, pleased to be joined as always by Indiana University Associate Professor of Finance Ryan Brewer. And Ryan, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Gerry.
You've got some new numbers out, and in fact, folks will see these numbers in the Wall Street Journal, I think, very soon as well. IU revenues and valuation, how has that changed with this success?
Yeah, so the revenues and valuation have been pretty successful, as you can imagine. Indiana, actually all three big schools from Indiana have done well. We've got Notre Dame is up this year by about close to 14%. We've got Purdue up by 6%. In Indiana, along with a few other schools around the FBS, are up almost 40%. Wow. The impact of Curt Cignetti and his magic is showing in the numbers now. Yeah,
so and you look at the economic impact on Bloomington and Bloomington businesses. With the arrival of Curt Cignetti, you can correlate a big jump there, right?
There is. We started pre-Cignetti at about $5.5 million of economic impact a game, and then in the first year, after a few games, and they had 8 home games, it started to wind up, and that impact averaged out at over $7.5 million a game. Then this year, it increased another 20% on top of that, up to $9 million a game. Wow. So the economic impact is real, and that doesn't include the impact around the other parts of the state for the away games or for the home games that they didn't attend. Because we can imagine with this magic formula that Cignetti's got going on, people all around the country are interested in this team, and the numbers on TV viewership are showing too. But we can see, you know, places like Ale Emporium and other establishments around the city of Indianapolis and around the state on game day, whether they're home or away, are going to be receiving a bump in business.
Yeah, talk about viewership. This has become IU football a national story, and viewership, it kind of reflects that.
Yeah, the viewership, you know, back in the day before Curt Cignetti came along, Indiana University football would be, a good day would be 3 million viewers on a national TV game like Ohio State or something like that. Now, They get $6 million for Oregon #1, Penn State over $6 million. The last 3 games have had 18 million, 23 million viewers with Alabama, and 18 million viewers again for Oregon #2. I think the national story is out there. The total viewership this year is over 100% more than last year in Signetti's first year, which was also 75% higher than the previous year. So the valuation is just getting going here. This is a situation for Indiana, and I was talking to you before how really in the old days and for a long time, Indiana and Purdue football programs were valued very similarly for many years. Yeah. And there's a separation happening now.
Okay, we only have about 30 seconds left, but the importance of these numbers any year would be significant. But as you look at this era of NIL and the ability to attract money into the program, probably even more so.
Yes, absolutely. And I think this speaks to the power of Indiana University and the power of all of our big 3 colleges, Purdue, Notre Dame, and Indiana, but the famous, wealthy, successful alumni of Indiana University are able to help power those NIL numbers for Curt Cignetti and his crew and allowing opportunities that they wouldn't have seen before.
I use Ryan Brewer, some great numbers and perspective. Thanks as always for joining us.
Welcome, pleasure to be here.
All right. Well, if there's any chance you or someone you know has tickets to watch IU play for all the marbles in Miami Monday night, paying for those tickets probably took a pretty big dip into the bank account. IBJ reporter Mickey Schuer reporting that, and this was earlier in the week, ticket prices are going for more than $3,200, and that number could be much higher now. IBJ's Dave Lindquist is in Miami to report on fans' reaction, and you can join us on air and online for comprehensive coverage. Well, coming up next, football, one of the topics at this year's State of the State. Governor Mike Braun and the Indiana Chamber weigh in on priorities, including Indiana's play to get a Chicago Bears stadium in Lake County.
Whether you're buying or selling a home, the stakes are high. Realtors are market experts who do business by a higher code of ethics, and we're invested in Indiana because we're also your neighbors. Now here's the latest statewide real estate report.
In 2025, the number of homes for sale across Indiana hit a 6-year high, with new listings jumping nearly 10% in the last 2 years. Homes also stayed on the market about 4 days longer than 2024, 2 weeks longer than back in 2021. Buyers have more options and more time to find the right home heading into 2026. But patience is paying off for home sellers, as Indiana property values continue to climb. Indiana is still one of the most affordable states for home ownership. The mortgage payment on a typical recent home purchase equals about 34% of our median monthly household income.
Today, you either innovate or evaporate. We are accelerating the pursuit of progress. From the foods we eat to the heights we soar, because this is Indiana, the innovation capital of the world. We rally visionaries across industries, investing connections as much as capital, and fuel our founders from dorm room to boardroom. Fuel your innovation with Elevate Ventures.
Well, an update on our top story from last week and Hammond's game plan to lure the Chicago Bears to Northwest Indiana. WGN-TV in Chicago reporting NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell recently toured potential stadium sites in the region, but no specifics on which spots in the region he took a look at. Last week, Hammond Mayor Tom McDermott was on the show. He joined us to talk about the potential of the Bears locating their stadium project in Northwest Indiana rather than Illinois. He says it would mean hundreds of millions of dollars in tax savings to the team. And this week, Governor Mike Braun talked about Indiana's play for the Bears in his State of the State address.
We are working hard to bring the Chicago Bears to the Hoosier State so they can really see what a great place is to have a business. We'll work hard to do it. Let's get it across the finish line.
Well, some of the priorities Governor Braun outlined in a State of the State are also on the list of the Indiana Chamber of Commerce. I'm pleased to be joined in studio this week by the Chamber's President and CEO, Vanessa Green-Senders. And Vanessa, as always, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me.
Your reaction, first of all, to the Governor's State of the State address from a business perspective.
Sure. Well, I was honored to be there and really excited to hear some of kind of shared priorities and goals being talked about. You know, our mission is all about economic competitiveness and growth for the state. And the governor listed off, you know, Indiana's real GDP growth is above the national rate. We're 2 times Illinois and Ohio, 3 times Kentucky. And I think our collective job is to keep that momentum going. And I think there's some opportunities in the legislative session to do that.
The Indiana Chamber is out with its list of priorities for this legislative session. As you look at those key priorities, what are they?
Sure. Well, we, as I think you know, we have an economic vision plan for the state, Indiana Prosperity 2035, that guides our overall advocacy. The topics that our members are most focused on right now are economic growth and education and workforce. And so that's where our priorities lie. First of all, we hear a lot about childcare and early learning and lack of access. So there's some efforts moving at the State House to work on that. Work-based learning, skilling up the next generation of workers. How do we reduce friction and get employers doing more work-based learning? And then on the economic growth side, whether it is making us more competitive from a legal landscape and tort reform, there's some meaningful things being talked about now. 2, watching tax conformity and the kind of implementation of the One Big Beautiful Bill from the federal level. What is Indiana conforming to? Where are we decoupling? How do we maintain that competitiveness?
Also, the whole concept of township, local government consolidation is back. It's been around for a long time, controversial in some communities around the state, but that seems to be changing a bit.
Sure. Well, look, I think we are in this age where we need to be creative about solutions. There's lots of fiscal challenges, and I think folks are and local governments are open to new ideas and solutions. And the Indiana Chamber has long talked about if we can find efficiencies, if we can bring units of government together and reduce redundancy, let's do it. And there's some legislation being talked about related to giving townships the option to consolidate, which we are supportive of.
All right. Vanessa Green-Senders, the President and CEO of the Indiana Chamber. Great to see you as always. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Gary.
Well, coming up next, an Indiana doctor's innovation making waves across the nation.
These are amazing. Tell us about it.
Yes, so I'm actually a pediatrician and mom of 3, and so I created Ahemsa to get plastic off the family dining table. Because now
it is a Hoosier business success story, not only making a mark on national TV, but also with a big-time retailer in the online space. Details of the business of health.
Serving Indiana means being ready for growing energy demands. At Duke Energy, we're adding more power to the grid and working on hundreds of local projects to make your energy more reliable. We've strengthened nearly 20,000 poles, updated more than 270 substations, and prevented hundreds of thousands of outage hours with self-healing grid technology, so your power can come back on faster than ever. That's the smarter energy future Indiana deserves.
The challenges are real.
Type 2 diabetes rising faster among adults.
Alzheimer's cases rising as population.
Solutions.
They said it'll never happen.
It's too hard. Nothing will change.
Can't compete.
You'll never solve it.
And we said, watch us.
Been a while. What have you been up to?
Oh, you know.
Oh, I see it's not flossing. I just added some secret weapons to my toolkit.
Huh?
They help me drill down further, digging deeper than I ever could before. Into my business and personal finances with Lake City Bank Digital.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Now let's take care of that tooth.
Add sharper tools for your money with Lake City Bank Digital.
You are all set, Brian.
I'm Devin.
Calling for all nominations. We're looking for 40 Central Indiana leaders under 40 who shine in their roles. Each year, the Indianapolis Business Journal recognizes 40 individuals who have made their mark in their profession before the young age of 40. Who will be named this year's class? Place your nominations and celebrate the milestones made by the best and brightest in Indiana. Learn more and submit your nomination by January 26th at ibj.com/nominations.
Plastic. It's everywhere. It's in your drawers, in your car, on your shelves, at the park, on the field, and now studies show it's even in our bodies. Chew on that for a second.
Indiana innovation designed for kids to eat healthier. It's called Ahemsa, which is a Sanskrit word that means avoiding harm. And it's the brainchild of Indianapolis pediatrician and mother, Dr. Manasa Mantravati. Inside Indiana Business of Health reporter Kylie Valletta has been following Dr. Mantravati's entrepreneurial journey from the beginning in 2019. She's come a long way since those early days.
Thanks, Gary. We're at a warehouse in Whitestown where orders for Ahemsa's stainless steel dishes are ramping up because the company just landed its biggest vendor deal yet, Target.com.
This box is all cardboard, and we don't even use any plastic-lined paint on it on purpose.
For 6 years, Dr. Manasa Mantravati has been on a mission to get plastic out of mealtime for children.
I'm a pediatrician first, and I launched a company to solve a health problem.
Plastic. It's everywhere.
Based on advice from the American Academy of Pediatrics that plastic is harmful to children's health, she launched Ahemsa, stainless steel dishes for kids.
Stainless steel is the material of choice in India. So, I grew up eating off of stainless steel.
And her dishes are made in India before they land here at a warehouse in central Indiana, now busier than ever. The big headline today is your Target.com deal. You're not excited about that at all?
No.
Being tapped as a supplier for Target.com moves Ahemsa to the mainstream.
We've been in other retailers, but Target to me is really where the masses are and where the masses trust in terms of, quality products at affordable prices. And so to me, this is the dream, and what we've been working towards is to make steel accessible.
Her goal and realistic next step is to be in Target stores nationwide. Ahemsa has expanded its supply chain
and making sure that we can take every opportunity, whether that is Target nationwide or schools nationwide. We are responsibly getting ready for it.
That's right, schools. Ahemsa also has a line of stainless steel trays to get plastic out of the cafeteria.
Introducing the stainless steel cafeteria tray.
The Orchard School in Indianapolis was the first to sign on. Her steel trays are now in more than 300 schools nationwide.
As we got bigger, I really wanted our products in my backyard. And so lo and behold, it happens to be Indianapolis is a great place as the Crossroads America to deliver products across the country. Pallets of product I'm still pinching myself.
Beyond a warehouse, her business roots run deep here.
It really was the moms in Indianapolis who supported my business. It really was Orchard School right here in Indianapolis that took a chance on me.
And now, boosted by Target.com, she'll continue to invest in Indiana.
This is where my patients are. This is where my family is. This is where my team is. And so it is really important to me as a local pediatrician, as a local entrepreneur, to service and be proud of what we have, but then also help the people who are living right here first and foremost.
Ceiling to floor, these pallets are stocked with her product, but more importantly to her, this is a visual of the growth of her mission for children's health. Gary, back to you.
All right, Kylie, thank you. Great report, great story as well. Ahemsa's school tray line just inked a deal with the Palm Beach County School District in Florida. It's one of the largest districts in the country.
Here's what's making news around Indiana.
We begin this week in Southwest Indiana, where a major housing initiative is now fully open in Gibson County. The district features more than 250 apartments located near Toyota's sprawling manufacturing facility in Princeton. 1, 2, and 3 bedroom units are now available for rent. That project funded in part by ready dollars from the state. $100 million in public, private, and institutional investment is expected to transform a part of the orthopedics capital of the world in northern Indiana. Grace College in Winona Lake is leading the 5-year Catalyst Corridor initiative. Projects along the Warsaw-Winona Lake Corridor include a Business Innovation Center and Orthopedic Innovation Research Center.
Those two innovation projects, are really, I would say, have the greatest potential transformational impact, certainly in terms of business, startup, industry, workforce development, talent development.
Construction expected to last through next year. You can learn more about the 4 themes of the initiative and other projects at InsideIndianaBusiness.com. To southern Indiana now, where after more than 90 years, a historic building at French Lick's West Baden Springs Hotel is open again. The Billiard and Bowling Pavilion features 6 bowling lanes, billiard tables, a new on-site pizzeria as well. It is the final building on the historic French Lick grounds to get a makeover. And we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Whether you're buying or selling a home, the stakes are high. Realtors are market experts who do business by a higher code of ethics, and we're invested in Indiana because we're also your neighbors. Now here's the latest statewide real estate report.
In 2025, the number of homes for sale across Indiana hit a 6-year high, with new listings jumping nearly 10% in the last 2 years. Homes also stayed on the market about 4 days longer than 2024, 2 weeks longer than back in 2021. Buyers have more options and more time to find the right home heading into 2026. But patience is paying off for home sellers as Indiana property values continue to climb. Indiana is still one of the most affordable states for home ownership. The mortgage payment on a typical recent home purchase equals about 34% of our median monthly household income.
Serving Indiana means being ready for growing energy demands. At Duke Energy, we're adding more power to the grid and working on hundreds of local projects to make your energy more reliable. We've strengthened nearly 20,000 poles, updated more than 270 substations, and prevented hundreds of thousands of outage hours with self-healing grid technology, so your power can come back on faster than ever. That's the smarter energy future Indiana deserves.
Today, you either innovate or evaporate. We are accelerating the pursuit of progress. From the foods we eat to the heights we soar, because this is Indiana, the innovation capital of the world. We rally visionaries across industries, investing connections as much as capital, and fuel our founders from dorm room to boardroom. Fuel your innovation with Elevate Ventures.
We are bringing the power of this to this with a new IBJ Media app. For the first time ever, you'll be able to get the Indiana Lawyer, Inside Indiana Business, and the Indianapolis Business Journal all in one place wherever you go. All across the state of Indiana, IBJ Media provides the news you need to know, and we're doing it now directly to your phone. To be a part of this, you can find it on your favorite app store. Just search IBJ Media.
Well, Homefield Apparel, the clothing company that started in a Bloomington apartment, is seeing its revenue rise in a big way as the Hoosiers continue their quest for a national football championship. This year, Homefield secured the license to do merchandise for all 12 teams in the college football playoff. IU was the first school to give the company its license, and the playoff run has generated both excitement and design creativity. Last summer, Homefield opened its first retail location along Bloomington's Kirkwood Avenue.
Game days are just insane. Game day revenue is 20 times literally the average day revenue that you'll see in a store. I've been a huge IU football fan for a long time, and after last year, it kind of changed the horizons of what we believed was possible, right? The first big run with Signetti, we were 2.5 times, or Indiana sales were 2.5 times the prior year. This year, it's done that again. It's 2.5 times 2024, just through our website.
Nationwide, Homefield makes apparel for more than 200 schools. Well, IU's historic football run this year is considered by some to be one of the greatest turnarounds in collegiate sports history. We caught up this week with born and bred Hoosier, IU grad, and Query and Company radio host Jake Query to get his take on that, the major shift in college sports, IU being in the right place at the right time, and why IU's success is a source of Hoosier pride.
We're going back to the 305. It's going to be a great opportunity to play a national championship. This is what every little kid dreams of.
Indiana had a lot of foresight. And I think that Scott Dolson, Scott Dolson, the athletic director, Pam Whitten, the president, they saw an opportunity. And that opportunity was the wind of change in college football between the name, image, likeness payments of players and the transfer portal and the ability now with players at 5 and 6 years, because you have guys that started out in the COVID year that they got back. Everything was lined up for someone, for some school, to say, look, we can get really experienced players. We can pay them to come in here. We can make it possible for those transfers. And we can very quickly, through basically free agency, build a roster along with pieces that were already in place, put it all together, and if well coached, be very good almost seemingly overnight.
Mendoza, fade, Surratt, corner, touchdown!
Indiana was the one that had the foresight to do it, so they get credit in that regard. So yes, in terms of where they were to where they are, it is probably the greatest turnaround in the history of college sports.
Kurt Cignetti does it in 2 years!
Every player on that roster, as I understand it, what I'm told, is that for Cignetti to offer a scholarship for you to play for him in Indiana, he watches extensive amounts, exhausting amounts of film on a player, not just in what they do as a player, but also on the sidelines. How do they interact with their teammates? How do they respond to coaching? Those sorts of things. And all of that, I think, allows for a system here. And what is really the beauty of it, if you're not even a fan of sports,
Touchdown, Becker!
but this truly is something where the sum is truly better than the individual parts. And those parts have gotten better since they've been under Kurt Cignetti.
It'd be a hell of a movie.
Whether you're talking Butler basketball to the Final Fours, or Purdue in the Final Four, or the Colts to the Super Bowl, or the Pacers a half away from winning an NBA title, Notre Dame, all of it, none of them came from the depths of where Indiana football did. So even if you are a fan of a rival school, I think you have to have an appreciation of where Indiana was versus where Indiana is now seen from an athletic football program, because that's kind of how we see ourselves as a culture here in Indiana.
Go IU and
We know that we're pretty good people, but we like when the rest of the country sees that. And just that entire mantra, I think, is carried out in the spirit of rallying around this story of the Bad News Bears suddenly going in now and taking on the Yankees in the big Little League fight.
You can check out Jake's show each day between noon and 3 on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Inside Indiana Business. We leave you this week with some of the excitement surrounding IU football in advance of Monday's championship game. It's captured by Chief Photographer Clint Erbacher at the Peach Bowl in Atlanta last week. I'm Gerry Dick. Go ahead and make it a successful week.
Challenges are real.
Type 2 diabetes rising
Small
faster
businesses
among
need
adults.
help. Alzheimer's cases rising as population.
Solutions.
They said it'll never happen.
It's too hard.
Nothing will change.
Can't compete.
You'll never solve it.
And we said, watch us.
Been a while. What have you been up to?
Oh, you know.
Oh, I see it's not flossing. I just added some secret weapons to my toolkit.
Huh?
They help me drill down further, digging deeper than I ever could before. Into my business and personal finances with Lake City Bank Digital.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Now let's take care of that tooth.
Add sharper tools for your money with Lake City Bank Digital.
You are all set, Brian.
I'm Devin.
Hello and welcome to Inside Indiana Business. I'm Gerry Dick, coming to you this week from Northwest Indiana, Jeffersonville, Muncie, South Bend, in downtown Evansville, Terre Haute, Fort Wayne, Richmond, from one of the state's key entrepreneurial and innovation hubs, 16 Tech. Inside Indiana Business, Indiana's business news leader.